Now, every department in a business plays a particular role. We cannot say which department is more important than the other because here we're considering all departments to be great in one go. When we're talking about departments in a business, we're also talking about the various business types here. A business which is dealing with customers directly, like your grocery store, like your 24/7 stores, etc., will have a different kind of business model and different departments which might vary from one place to another. Whereas when I have a business which doesn't deal with customers directly, therein my departments and their functioning and their roles and responsibilities would be quite different. You may have a look at this video for better understanding. Talking about the people that we actually have in an organization, there's this small saying of the crab mentality. There's a small experiment that was conducted alongside a beach wherein several crabs were caught and kept in a box. None of the crabs could crawl up and move out of the box, even though the walls of the box were not big enough. The reason behind the same was that the crabs were kept on pulling each other down whenever one tried to crawl up the wall. Herein, in an organization, we need to identify that what kind of people are ideally needed. We do not need people with crab mentality who keep pulling others down or keep showing them the wrong path. That is where we need more motivators, influencers, and people who keep helping in getting tasks done rather than ones who keep identifying errors and keep telling people, demotivating them. That is how we need to identify the various people in an organization, and we need to check that who these people are. You may have a look at the video for a better understanding of the concept that I've just explained. Talking about the roles of the people in an organization, we basically have divided them into categories. Beginning from the topmost level, we have the director. A director is typically the person who's taking all the decisions related to the business. He has to be good at understanding. This person has to have a lot of experience in the industry to take good and vital decisions. This person needs to have time to investigate and understand what are the requirements of the business. This person needs to have good leadership skills, and he needs to keep interacting and communicating with the other people in the organization. Next in the row comes the managing director, also known as the MD, and he is known as the figurehead of the organization. When we are talking about the figurehead of the organization, all people in the organization do not directly contact the director. They come up to their senior managers, and the senior managers thereafter move to the MD. This person again needs to have good directing control over people because he's going to be the person who's going to divide the roles and responsibilities amongst other members in the organization. Coming to the third position, we have the senior managers, wherein these people basically concerned towards the operations ongoing in an organization. Their decisions are quite calculated decisions as they need to have an analysis of the team that is working under them. They need to know their caliber. They need to take skilled decisions because each decision that they're going to make is further going to affect the organization as a whole. Moving on, fourth in the row, we have the middle level managers who are basically controlling the resources of any organization within the given guidelines as set by the organization. These people are also known as great influencers and motivators because they have huge teams under them and they need to take good care of them. Next in row comes the junior supervisory management. This management is concerned with the short-term supervisory activities, and their role basically comes on time management, people management, and getting things done on time. Next in row, we have the supervisors who are also known as the backbone of the organization because they're running at the grassroots level with the workers, and they need to manage the day-to-day resources, including the supervision of the staff. The last in row, we have the operatives or the operators who are working on the ground level along with the supervisors, but under them ideally. These are the people who are working on conveyor belts. Even in supermarkets, these are the ones who stack the shelves, who are working as the checkout operatives, etc. The roles and responsibilities of each individual in an organization is usually defined in advance. When we are talking about the organizational chart as a whole, we look at the span of control. As we move from top to bottom, we understand that the span of control keeps on decreasing. The control does not lie with the people who are working at the bottommost level, whereas the control definitely lies with people who are working at the topmost level. That is very important to understand the roles of these people so that we get to know whom to interact with, in what scenario, and when. Moving ahead, you may have a look at the organizational chart, wherein the topmost person is a CEO, and this person is then delegating and dividing responsibilities amongst the CMO, the COO, CTO, and CFO. Telling their full forms, the CMO stands for the Chief Marketing Officer, the COO stands for the Chief Operating Officer, the CTO stands for the Chief Technical Officer, and CFO stands for the Chief Finance Officer. Under them, there are huge teams that have to work, and all their responsibility lies amongst these people who are the CMO, the COO, the CTO, the CFO. When I'm talking about these people as a whole, their teams under them include the heads at each level: marketing, operations, technology, and finance, followed by the junior level staff. Now, when it comes to the direct reporting, your direct reporting always has to occur to your immediate boss. A finance analyst cannot directly report to the CFO without consulting the chief accountant. Similar goes for the social media analyst, who cannot directly report to the CMO until and unless he goes through the paid ad specialist along with the head of marketing. There is a protocol that is usually followed in an organization, and that's the reason this organizational chart is really important to understand. Taking you further and bringing you to the first homework for the day is to formulate your own business plan. Here are a few links that you can simply click on and get the samples of your business plans. Before beginning a business plan, you need to check out the template of a business plan. When we are talking about a business plan, let's go a little step by step for the same. When we are talking about a business plan, we are talking about n number of things in a business plan that are the executive summary, the target market, the competitors, human resource, vendors, suppliers, marketing plan, operations, financial projections, etc. Let's understand each one of these in detail. When we are talking about a business plan as a whole, it is a sample that you are showing to the market. A business plan, it is a formal written document which contains all my business goals, the methodologies that I'm going to use, and the time frame within which these goals are to be achieved. When we are talking about writing a business plan, there are several things that should be considered. A business plan should never ever be complicated. It is a step-by-step guide, and here is where we are explaining you. Step number 1 is your executive summary, wherein we are giving an overview of your business plan. What is your business about? What is the mission? What is the vision? What is the purpose? It comes first on your plan and is ideally only for 1 to 2 pages. And we have to make sure that it is the best, because the first impression for any organization is through its executive summary. Next, we are talking about the target market, which also refers to our opportunity. Herein, we'd be catering to what products or services the business is going to look out for. And we're also going to look at the interest of the people, how people react to it, etc. In this section, we ask questions which are usually related to selling, buying needs and demands, and how we are solving the need, want, and desire problem for the market. Who is the target market and who is it that we are particularly looking at? Next comes our competitors, who are going to be the competition in the market. We go for a SWOT analysis here, wherein we are analyzing the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats as a whole for our organization and even for the competitors, because we need to be better than them. Next in row comes our human resource, which again talks about the amount of people we need for each and every aspect in the business. Here, we are talking about their pay packages, we are talking about their experience in the industry, we are talking about their skill set requirement, etc. Next, we have the vendors or the suppliers, the people from whom we'd be taking the raw material from. And we also have to analyze this as a whole, because we need not receive resources at a higher price. We have to make sure that the price is competitive enough to compete in the market. Next comes our marketing plan, which is also our execution plan as to how we are going to get the product or service to the clients, how we are going to bring them. Is it going to be, what kind of a packaging are we going to use? What kind of an advertisement are we going to use? Who's going to be the brand ambassador for the organization? And other such questions are answered in this marketing plan. Seventh number stage is the operations, wherein we are talking about the operations of the complete business. How is it going to run? And we're going to define how each job is going to be done. Next in turn comes my financial plan, wherein I'm talking about the business, and any business is ideally incomplete without a complete financial forecast. When we tell you what has to be included in the financial plan, we would start first with the amount of sales that you have. That means your sales forecast, followed by the cash flow statement, concluding both your inflow as well as outflow of cash, your income statement, which is also known as your P&L, which is your profit and loss statement, along with your balance sheet. This is going to be your complete learning from the course. We have further subdivided it into subparts to make you understand this better. So we are going to learn about this complete business plan in some time, and we're going to learn it step by step. Till then, stay tuned with Team Henry Harvin and enjoy the Teen MBA course. Thank you so much, people.